This is Two Guys Talking About with Kevin Kolbe and Bill Jordan.
Well, hey there, and welcome to Two Guys Talking About. I'm Kevin Kolbe.
I'm Bill Jordan.
You sounded very... I'm Kevin Kolbe.
You did. I'm following your lead.
What? You were just... And I'm Bill Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, when you were on radio, did you ever do that?
Nope.
Did you ever do it off radio?
Nope.
And by the way, if you're listening to this, I have my hand cupped over my ear. Like
Gary Owens.
Yes.
From TV's Laugh-In.
Yes. So the idea about Two Guys Talking About is that we focus on a topic, we talk about it. We'd love to hear what you think we ought to talk about, what you think about what we're talking about. I feel like I'm in one of those like loop things.
It is a loop.
Hey, and if you want to connect with us several ways, however you're watching or listening to this, obviously the website twoguystalkingabout.com also has our contact information, YouTube, Facebook, and the podcast. So we'd love to hear from you, hear your ideas. And again, if you're interested in sponsorship, let us know. When I came over to Bill's house, I noticed these golf clubs. And I thought, why don't we talk golf? Because we're kind of in the season of golf. Does golf have a season?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, the Masters just got going. A lot of people, there have been PGA Tour stops prior to the Masters. Right. But the Masters, for most golfers, that's like, okay, this is the first big one.
Do you have opening day?
No, not really. I mean, not like baseball. Not like baseball.
And you don't have preseason like football.
No, but you've got the silly season toward the end of the year, going into the holidays. That's where they used to come up with all the skins games tournaments and these kind of like doctored up golf tournaments for ratings and money.
So that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode of Two Guys Talking About is golf. So years ago, I decided that, hey, I ought to play golf because that's what you do. And so I went with a friend and we played a round or two. Is that what you call it? And I thought, hey, this isn't bad. I am, but it's not bad.
Right.
So I went out and bought clubs because that's what you do.
Right.
And I progressively got worse. To this day, it is the only sport I quit in the middle of. I know there's the fairway, and when you're playing, you're supposed to stay on the fairway. Right?
Ideally.
All right. So mine would always go somewhere else. I'd be playing against guys coming at me. I'd be like, excuse me, I got to hit back over here. It was like everybody else would be way over there. I'd be like, I'll catch up with you soon.
Right.
What ended up happening is we were on like the 14th hole, right? And I go, and I'm not having a good time. And I go back and I whack, and I hit the ball. And the ball goes about this far. And in a moment of just like, I'd had it, I throw my club. And the club goes like 100 yards. And I thought, I'm done. Picked up my ball, which I didn't have far to go. Go find my club, bag it up, and I just walked. The rest, sold the clubs. I've never to this day played golf, except for putt-putt.
Right.
But now you're a golfer.
I was.
You was a golfer. You was a golfer.
I was a golfer, yeah. I mean, I started playing when I was early 20s and, couldn't break 100. I mean, I was shooting horrendous numbers. And then finally got into the 90s and then finally got into the 80s. And I broke into the 70s once. I shot a 78 down at Hilton Head one time, and man, that was just great. And I used to just love going around playing all these golf courses, all the designer courses. Nicholas, and I mentioned before, I'd played St. Andrews in Scotland, and I've been very fortunate with all that. But it got to where...
Because low numbers are good in golf.
Low numbers, that's a curious thing, too, because that's also one of our speech things. Your performance was subpar, Harold. Which would mean fantastic.
Right.
But in the world of business, that's not good. No, you really perform subpar. I played in a lot of benefit golf tournaments here in the Triangle, and I would live for them. Right about now, we would have already had the Duke Children's Classic. Man, I lived for that weekend. Just had a blast and played pretty well and was often on a winning team for some kind of cool trophy or something. And then it got to where I just started playing worse. If I'm not getting better, if I'm getting worse, then I start to lose interest. And I was finding more and more I'd be playing golf, benefit tournament or not, going, I really need to keep a paperback in my golf bag, a novel, or a fishing pole. And I found myself coming off the golf course many times just being frustrated. However, I will also say, when I was playing well, when you're in, say, a trouble spot, you're behind a tree and the green's around the corner and you see that shot and you pull off a shot where you bend it right to left, and it rolls up on the green, and you can make that putt. That is magic. I just was not able to pull those off anymore. And I can tell you, I can go out and play right now, and I'll tell whoever it is that I'm playing, here's what I'm doing wrong. And
so you understand the mechanics of golf.
I can tell you exactly what I'm doing wrong, but it is as if I cannot solve it. I cannot fix it.
So you can. So I do know this much, that you can read the green.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember hearing or reading, or somebody told me that you can actually look at the way they cut the hole and see the way the grass is growing or the dirt or whatever, and then that way you can tell the way the ball is going.
A little bit. It's not a cheap sport. When I loved it, I was absolutely obsessed with the game of golf. I read everything. I watched every tournament. I would record tournaments and play them back.
Wait a minute, really?
Oh yeah. I would watch all the instruction on Golf Channel.
Yeah, my oldest son said to me the other day, because we saw a TV commercial for Masters or some golf tournament, and they used the word exciting golf. And he was like, really? And I thought, yeah, I've never used that term.
If you're good enough, or good golf when you see it, it can be very exciting.
Now, before we get any haters, I just want to say, disclaimer, that I've got friends at golf, and it is amazing to watch, especially professional golfers, that can just, it's almost like trick shots, not like the Marx Brothers or W.C. Fields, but where they're, it'll bounce back and roll back, and then they can read it. Now, putt-putt, I love. In fact, the only part of my game, other than leaving, that was really good was putting. I say really good. I mean, it was better.
Putt-putt and real golf, I mean, they're kind of like, different.
They're kind of
so
like different.
Any discussion about golf that turns into putt-putt?
Okay, but there's similarities. You've got a putter, and you've got balls.
Yes.
And you hit it into the hole, and you keep score. So I would say they're a lot alike. Now, the difference is you don't have the dragons and the windmills.
Only in your mind.
Well, they're on your mind.
Only in your mind.
Oh, here's the other thing. I didn't know you were supposed to spot for the other guy. So I'd be sitting there like, just messing around with my bag or doing something. He'd say, hey, did you see where I hit it? And I'm like, dude, you hit the ball? He's like, no, you're supposed to watch for me.
Oh, yeah, I can never. Early on was a vision problem for me. And now I see where it goes. I just don't remember where it goes.
Oh, yeah. It's somewhere over there.
And the other thing, last time I played last year up in Virginia with my brother-in-law and nephew and all that stuff, is, hey, man, wasn't that fun? That's like, you know what? At this stage of my life, that $50 I just dropped, that was a bucket of stain for my deck. So when people say, oh, man, it's the outdoors and it's the fellowship and all that, I say, look, I'll buy a 6-pack or 12-pack of beer, come over, stain my deck outside, we can talk and laugh and joke, we'll have a blast, and nobody will be frustrated.
And you'll still have money. I also remember, because I just couldn't track the white ball, do they still have the fluorescent? Mm-hmm. You remember those? Mm-hmm. I remember getting like orange and like green, almost like, ironic I wore this. It was like bright like that. And that I could kind of see. But the whites is like that gone. I don't even know where it is. Who is probably the best professional golfer you think that's ever been?
There's a big argument that Tiger Woods has been the best golf. I've never seen Tiger play in person. I saw Jack Nicklaus play in person. I'd have to give it to one of them. Jack won 20 majors. No, that's 2 U.S. amateurs. He came in second, I believe, 19 times.
Wow.
Tiger either wins them or he's
right
down the road somewhere. Right. He may have come in a couple of times. But as far as that kind of consistency in the majors, it is hard for a guy my age to argue against Jack Nicklaus.
But talk about a lesson in persistence, though, too. I mean, to keep playing that often and come in second and keep playing, you've got to have a love for it.
Oh, you have to win the Masters at the age of 46. And I met him after the third round of that year, 1986. I met him after that round, and the next Sunday morning, I drove home to Cary, where we were living, turned it on where he just went on this birdie run, starting on the back nine, and it was magic.
Wow!
And that's when I was really into golf.
So here's our question: are you a golfer? And if you are, why do you love it? And if you hate golf, why?
And if you're a golfaholic, and if you are married to a golfaholic, because golfers tend to come home and recount every shot they took. It's annoying, even to me, to think about it now. Yeah. Yes, okay, yes, I know you drove it into the woods on 3. Yes, I know. Yeah, okay, enough.
I think my problem is I just didn't enjoy it enough. I didn't even want to talk about it because there was nothing redeeming in the way I played.
I am going to get back out there this year, though. I mean, my son-in-law plays. I enjoy playing with him. I just would like to play with him better.
Yeah, so.
I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I think. Of course, people who've known me for years and play golf know. I always say, all right, I've got to figure it out this time. Now I know. And they all just laugh at me because you never totally figure out that game. Right. The golf gods give and the golf gods taketh away.
Thank you for watching this. Seriously, though, if you want to share it with somebody, if you've enjoyed this, you had fun, you're even annoyed by it, make sure you hit us up on the website. Best place to connect with us at twoguystalkingabout.com, Facebook, YouTube, podcast, and also let us know some of the things that you might like us to talk about. We got a whole list we're working off of, but we'd always like to work these in and entertain you. You might learn something along the way.
Every now and then.
Every now and then, and for that we apologize. I shouldn't have done that. So, all right, till next time, thanks for watching Two Guys Talking About. I'm Kevin Kolbe.
I'm Bill Jordan.
And 4, that's what you say, right?
Often.
This has been Two Guys Talking About with Kevin Kolbe and Bill Jordan. If you have an idea or comment or you're interested in sponsoring the show, connect and find out more at twoguystalkingabout.com. Two Guys Talking About is produced by Kolbe Creative Media.